Now let me tell you some detailed features of this software. Select the controller first. When you create a new one, it doesn't matter if you choose the width and height, because you can modify it in the software. For example, if I make a small one now, I can adjust it to 32 here, and I can adjust it to 64 by 42, and I can adjust it here. Then there are two types of line files. One is that I do it through CAD, do it on CD, and import it directly. Import in, and the software will automatically recognize you. If you follow some rules of the software will automatically recognize how many controllers you use, and which controller software corresponds to each port. And the software will automatically recognize the installation directory of the software. A few are also provided below, which is a model of some of our commonly used controllers. You can be inside. If you want to do anything with the test file, you can use the software to directly open the installation directory. The following is a rule for me to make CAD, that is, how should your port number be marked, and how the controller should be represented. Both here and in DX, that is, the famous controller is marked, and the port number is marked here. You can take a look if you have time. If you have any questions, just open the template for reference. Then there is another way, that is, I used the software to do this line file by myself. Just one is the placement module. For example, I create a new matrix of 32x32 with a height of 2. This placement module can only place a square or rectangle with a regular axis. If it is irregular, this cannot be done. Irregular ones need to be added manually. You can do it here. Then what about when you put it on? We have now added another function, that is, I press and hold the spacebar, tap the space to place this module. It will rotate 90 degrees and rotate 90 degrees. I can make it rotate automatically by tapping the space. Some of my simple adjustments will be faster to use. There is also the addition of the addition. I just add it manually. We also made one, and also made an optimization. When the previous operation was to be framed, I clicked the mouse first, and then clicked and clicked to pull my width and height. It is more troublesome to choose this way. We have made an optimization in this software, that is, I can set the width and height twice. It is the first time I set a starting point for this width and height. After setting it up, I can release the mouse, zoom in and out through the mouse wheel, and then look at the width and height. I want to check the width and height of the box to see if it is appropriate. If it is not appropriate, I will make adjustments. Here is the whole point of the box. I want to box. Then this is the one selected in the box. Also, in fact, it also has a click on it. If I operate it twice, it is more convenient for me to pull a long line, but it is not convenient if I click on it. This also adds a point and click function. I can click one point at a time. These are the two added functions. Adding a module is a square one that can be rotated. You take a space and it rotates. Here is a choice. Mainly some copy moves. I can use this option to move, and I can drag it directly. Then there is this option that also supports multiple operations, that is, I select an area first. For example, I select this area first. While selecting this piece, I want to press and hold the key to select me. If that's the case, radio selection can only select this piece, only once. After I press and hold the left button, I can choose another place to eat more. Choice. After choosing, I can move. Because there is a duplicate point just now, you move to that position. If it is repetitive, it won't let you put it up. This is 1, and there is an array. What about the array? You can, let me delete it first. For example, I make 1. Choose to delete, and then, for example, I will make a more irregular line file now. I can use arrays. I put 5 pieces horizontally, and 2 pieces vertically. The starting position starts from the upper right, and turns back to the axis S-shaped, and it comes out from left to right. This has pixels repeating in reverse order. Everyone can try it. Pixel repetition means that I can make this point, I can add several points to the position of the same point. Put the mouse on it, and the coordinates will be displayed below. I have a few points now. You can drag this point out by dragging. Then, here are some features of the line file. Use. Our system supports a set of systems with multiple lamps and lanterns, which is to achieve an overall effect. For example, I have DMX lamps and lanterns in a system and a serial lamp. If I want it to be synchronized, I can choose from here, such as 512. What about the first subcontrol 2? I control King Maoways 9, 8, 1, and 3-point control. I control Walkways 2, 8, and 1, so I can choose the 4th channel, and I will use DMS 512. The second one I selected like this is 9, 8, 1, 3, and the third one is 28, 11. The first and fourth one are Air Miz 2, and then here is one for modeling and modeling. For example, after my modeling is done, I can directly save it as a DX file and save it to the desktop. A DX. Generate. This DX allows the construction personnel to see more clearly and see the drawing more clearly. How my points are arranged and how the lines are drawn, it is not easy to go wrong. If you output a picture and a drawing like the previous output, that is not clear, and I can't see it clearly after zooming in. What about this software? This has a port limit, which can limit the number of points per port, that is, no more than 100 points are added. Then you see, if there are many controllers, it may not be easy for me to find a certain port of a certain port. I want to find it one by one on the above, then I can use a faster way. For example, I want to find the 4th port of the 4th channel RISC control. The 4th port is the 3rd port of the 5th port. I can double-click. After double-clicking, this port will run to the center of the screen, the pixel I selected in the middle. Repeat this pixel. Repeat my 3rd port, and he will run to the middle of the screen. Then, the software also supports a function, that is, I use the software to modify its port number. For example, now this is C, 1 is the master control, and 1.5 is the 5th controller. I changed it to 2. The second controller didn't click, so I changed it to this position, and it jumped over no. Curp 3, and then there is another one. It can be exchanged end to end, that is, the first point and the last point exchange positions. This point is the first point, this point is the first point, and this point is the last point. I can exchange back and forth, or I can deport exchange, just drag this back and forth port. You can easily exchange this port. This is the port, and there is a setting to control different lamps. Let's talk about this trick. The pattern here is different from the previous one. I did it before. If I don't want it anymore, I have to cancel it again. Now I have added a preview function. I choose the color first, and then I choose the action. I see if I like this. I see if I like this effect. If you don't like it, I will modify it again, modify it to the color effect I like, and then I will add it. For example, I can do this now. I think this is very good. Yes, I just click Add Point to confirm it. There will be on the timeline below, and an effect of 88 frames will be generated. You can take a look. I have already come out. This is a production effect that comes with the software. The above can be modified, and then there is another one to import the video. I can import the video in real time. You can choose where the starting needle starts, where to go to the end position, stretch, 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 intercept, center. You can choose any one you want. If I start from 26 frames to the end of 120 frames, I can click Add, and it will be added now. This needle is placed at the position of the first needle. The mode we choose now is Insert Mode. If I click Oklahoma, it will be inserted from the first frame. You can take a look at what he came from the first frame. I can also insert from behind. For example, I take a screenshot. You can use the scroll bar to preview, and you can add it to the back. This is an interception, this video import, and a special effects system. If you are interested, you can try again. The most important thing is that there is an area here, the area. I can import videos by region. I now select the mode to cover the mode from the first frame. For example, if I import a video like this to play, I want this video point to be added. You can take a look. It was imported from a video subregion I just imported, because I now choose the overlay mode, which is here. If I select Insert Mode in this position, only this position will light up, and other places will not light up. There is another one where we are doing tricks, because sometimes we have to combine lines to make some partitions, and partition them little by little. The normal practice is to switch back and forth between the two windows. I want to remember its location and its coordinates. What about now? We added a simpler function, that is, I hold down the Ctrl key on the keyboard, and the Ctrl key can see the line file. I can adjust the size of its area according to this line file, so I don't have to switch back and forth. It's a lot of trouble to switch. I have to remember its coordinates, as well as width and height. I can pass this now. I import a video. Let's take a look. I am using an insert mode now. What about insert mode? That is, only the ones in this area will be bright, and the ones outside the other areas will be black. This is because it has a video capture and effect, and the production is the same, that is, it can be regional, and it can be done. Remove this, and the rest is output. Can I preview it here? I preview it first. It's a bit of a position, that is, I have a cloth point on the side of the shape. It will light up. It will not light up without the output preview of the cloth point. Output if you can. You see, now our chip type cannot be selected, it is gray. Why can't you choose? I have defined it separately here. The controlled by each controller is different, so I define the output side separately, and you can no longer choose it. If you want to choose, you will do it for nothing if you modify the previous one. Another is that the software adds an white function. Let's do it again now. For example, how to do dialog. Normally, I can create a new layer first, just click here to add a white one. It is rigged now, and white is in the same layer. What if so? The effect of it is like me. Just mixed up. You don't need to do the white light effect alone. For example, if rig is on now, it will be on. Like how am I now? This white light will shine. Under what circumstances will this white light shine? Under what circumstances will rig light up? What if it's the same floor? It will take the rig one. If rig is on at the same time, it will take the smallest color value of rig. For example, I now have a brightness of 35 for red, 15 for green, and 120 for blue. The brightness of my current video is such a brightness value. What I actually came out is that the red one is 20, the green one is 0, the blue one is 105, and the white one is 15. If rig is on at the same time, it will take a minimum value of rig and then let the white light come on, and then the minimum value will be subtracted from the value of red, green, and blue. This kind of people usually call it power saving mode because it is normal. You mix one white and 3 colors. Now, I can achieve the effect of white light through one color, which saves 2/3 of the electricity. But there is another way, that is, I want rig and white light to be bright at the same time. And it is also possible to mix a very unique color I want. I can create a new layer here, create a new white light layer, and then I will make the video first, edit the video first. And then what about the rest? I will edit a video of white light again, such as making a white light, or you can choose here. What color do I want for white light, how bright the white light is, and how bright the white light is, I can do the color difference here. Or I can adjust it to manually enter the number 30. Oklahoma. This is a white light, and this is a separate white light. What we see now is the effect of a single white light. This is an effect of RGB. It actually comes out that RGB and white light will light up at the same time to achieve the effect you want. This is one way of RGB white, and another way is monochrome. How do I make monochrome? Monochrome? You can create a new layer and put this. This is yellow. I don't want yellow. You can pull it up. You can see it. Pull it up. I can see it. I think this has a yellow color. If yellow is monochrome, I will delete the RGB and leave a white one, and it will be fine when I output it. When there is a white light output, there is one here. This is W1. Then if it is RGB, the pin position can also be adjusted here, and the pin position is adjusted here, such as R1, G1, B2, R2. You can adjust it here. If it is a space, then you just open the space. The software will automatically generate an X instead of a space. Just make sure after the adjustment is done. This software does RGB white, or monochrome single white light, or RGB yellow will be more convenient to do. It's the effect I want. As long as I can think of it, I can make it in this software. This is a general introduction to our software, and then I will talk about it in an additional way, which is a layout of this software. Here, we were considering which functions are most commonly used by customers, such as the most commonly used, which may be that I don't want to use software to do it, just import it. We shoot from the back in first come first served order, and here we shoot from the back in first served order, which is how important it is. Shoot the output from the back, which is even simpler. This is a preview. I didn't see the light, I didn't do it. Installed line. There is one here, and there is also an output to save the pattern. Save the pattern to output the AVI file. An effect I made, I output AI, and then I can preview it to the customer, but what about its output AI? If it is RGB white, it is divided into output, that is, I currently choose the white light layer, then when I output, only the white light layer has animation. Then, if you select the RGB layer, when I output and save the pattern, it will save the effect of the RGB layer. Here are some commonly used functions for switching between Chinese and English. Overall, this software is relatively simple to use, but the function is not that I don't have any functions I want to use, and the functions are relatively complete. When you use it, you can give us any questions. You can give us feedback or have better suggestions. You can also give us better and better suggestions, and we can make a quick improvement. Well, today's software is introduced here.